Hey, welcome to Six Figure Transportation. Man, today was another amazing day for opportunity in the medical transportation business. And this evening, we're going to be talking with Chris, one of the local NEMT owners here in Atlanta. And Chris joined our webinar back in 2020. He attended one of our webinars back in 2020, and he's having so much success over there right now. And we just want to speak with him for a little bit tonight to give you guys some kind of insight on someone who just started the business. So let me dial Chris up. Hold on one second here. Let's see what he got here. What we got going here?
No. He said he here. Is that him right there?
Yeah.
So he
What me
wants.
see? Yeah, that's him right there.
Okay,
yes.
so this the.
Yeah. Oh, he changed the name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not invite that one. Not his other one. So, and then you just wait for him to join.
Okay.
Thank you later.
Hey, here we are.
All right, nephew.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm in the chat. Just add me to the chat.
Right. No, I wasn't looking at that. I wasn't looking at that. I was just going with your old name there, man. It's good to see you, sir.
How you doing, man? How
All
everybody
right,
doing?
man. How's everything going?
Everything's going great, friend. Everything's going great.
That's good, man. That's good to hear, man. I had an amazing day, man. I really love doing medical transportation during this time of the year in the fall weather, man. It's cool weather and clear skies and everything, man. I can just drive all day out there, man. I don't know about you.
Nah, I love it too, man. I had a young lady earlier today. Got her a doctor. Got to her appointment at 6:30 in the morning. So I was out there early. There early, running around, got there in that traffic. But we got it there on time. She was happy. She had a big procedure that she had to get to, and we helped her make that happen.
Great, man. That's great, man. Hey, you guys, I just want to tell you, how I met Chris. Chris attended a webinar that we had back in 2020, and man, I'm so proud of Chris. He was on that webinar. He stayed on to the end. He was asking plenty questions and everything. And he's just real eager about getting started in this business. And the thing that impressed me the most is that he didn't make any excuses. He started this thing right in the full-blown pandemic in 2020. So he had no excuses, man. And I'm so proud of you for taking a chance on yourself, man, and deciding to get out here and change your life. But I'm going to tell you guys this little story, right? One day, me and my wife was hanging out with me on when I was working. She was going to spend some little time with me. So we had a little section of time and, to get some lunch. So as we finished lunch, we were backing out of the parking space, and I see this guy walk across, and I'm trying to drive, but this guy's like standing right in the middle of the driveway, and he wouldn't move, right? So I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? Well, he's going to get run over or something to get his butt out the way. So he's standing there, and then he starts walking slowly to my window, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have to do something. I know he don't want none of this right here, right? So he had his mask on. I didn't have my mask on, so he was able to recognize me. He was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's Eric. That's Mr. Six Figures. So he pulled his mask down. He's like, aren't you Eric, Mr. Six Figures? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is Chris. I'm like, Chris, man, what's up? So that was so funny, man.
Yeah, I remember that day. I think we was in, what was that? Chicken Salad Chick. I think that's
Chicken salad. Yeah, right. Chicken salad chick. Yeah, chicken salad chick.
And
I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, man, I'm new to this Instagram stuff and making these little reels and stuff. Like my little world is closing in pretty quickly when people recognize me out here in public. Right.
Yeah, I happened to glance over and I was like, I wasn't sure if it was you or not at first. So that's what it was. I was trying to like, is that him? Is it not him? Is it him or her? And I was like, yeah, that's him. And then I ran over there, introduced or whatever. Because we was out here. We was out here in them streets. I was out there.
Right. that is so funny, because it kind of caught me off guard. And I was like, man, that's amazing, But it was good to see you out there, man. But you know, what got you interested in the medical transportation business, Chris?
So like you stated in the introduction, during the pandemic, man, it was a time where the world slowed down and we all was able to think about what we really wanted to do and get out of the rat race of working. So I worked in sales for years, and that's what I did. So I knew I could do that, but I knew I had a skill set for it. So I said, how can I use my skill set to benefit me, you know, and not benefit somebody else? So I was, during the pandemic, I was watching your videos probably maybe a month or two before I actually took any action. I just thought they were comical, you know, like fun to look at or whatever, but they were informative. I'm like, you know what? Started to perk my interest. Like, man, I think I could do this or whatever. And so I'm just keep watching. And then one video I came across is when you said you were doing a course. So I talked to my wife that night. I said, man, listen, I might go for it. You know, I might have to take this. She said, I said, what you think, baby? She said, you know, go for it or whatever. So I booked a course and I jotted down as much information that I had or I could during the course, but I jotted down as much information as I could to ask questions beforehand as well. So that's what I said. You were saying I was asking questions. I had all kinds of questions. You know,
you had all kinds of questions.
Yeah, I wanted to know, you know, like this and this, that, whatever. And it was just watching your videos and watching your testimony about how you got laid off and you stumbled onto it, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I think that's how to do it. And if I care enough about other people, whereas though this is an industry I could get right into. And in the medical industry itself is $1 billion industry. So you can branch off and do all kinds of, you know, like things in the medical industry. So that was really what it was, like the world slowing down, the world stopping, and me just realizing that, you know, I can do something that benefits my family and benefit, you know, the people. My hard work will benefit me and mine and not someone else.
Right, and that's good, man. That's a good mindset to have coming in, and not knowing that you're not just coming in chasing money. You're coming in to provide service, you know, to the community. You know, and I myself, I was in that slowdown in 2020. You know, I was sitting around. The work was slow. I didn't know what I was going to do at the time. Only people was people that was going to dialysis. And my daughter, she had moved back home with us. And one day she just came in my office. She was like, Dad, you ever thought about, you know, teaching people what you do? I was like, no, man, I don't have time for that. I'm not finna be fooling with nothing like that. She's like, you know, you've been doing this for 12 plus years. She said, you ought to think about, you know, putting some stuff down and teaching people. You obviously know what you're doing. So, you know, I didn't take what she said seriously at first. And then she came back again. And I decided, you know, maybe she might be on to something, you know, because that's how I got started in the business in the first place, was listening to my wife telling me something. So I decided to sit down and just pour everything I had out. And then I realized, hey, I do actually know a little bit of something, you know, let me see, you know, if I could help someone. So during that time of the pandemic, when I wasn't doing anything, I just put all this stuff together. And, you know, I had never been on Instagram. I had never done any reels or anything like that. She come telling me, hey, you know, you got to start doing some reels. Now I'm like, what is a reel? You know, so I just joined Instagram that same, I think you might have been one of the first 2 seminars that I did. And so all of that was me reinventing myself. And that's what you got to do. You got to be willing to take some chances on yourself, reinvent yourself, man, if you're going to reach a whole nother level. And most of all, getting beyond the fear. You know, that getting beyond that fear of taking a chance.
That's I would agree. That's one of the biggest ones. It was getting comfortability with that 9 to 5. Like that 9 to 5 was security, but I know that I can do much more with the potential and the things and, you know, my skill set that I have. So why just box it up into a 9 to 5? So I had to get over that initial fear. You know, and leap out there, and I tell you, man, it was the best decision I ever made in my life. Best decision I ever made in my life. Like believing in yourself and actually going to get it. That first bit of money that I made. I mean, I used to pull that paycheck stub out of my pocket every now and then and just look at it and was like, I did this. It started from an idea, you know, like an idea to actual fruition that you actually did that. Like you actually made money with something that you said you were going to go do. And it's the best decision I ever made.
Great, man. Well, how hard was it for you to get started?
Well, I'll tell you right now, that little booklet that you made or the kit that you made, that was a tremendous help. Because for all that nuanced stuff about the checklists and sexual harassment, like, you know, like booklets and on employee stuff and all that little stuff. As a new entrepreneur, you don't think about like those things. You think more about operations and just like doing the actual job. So all of that stuff was a godsend in helping. And I don't even know where I would have got that research. It probably would have took you, I think you said before, it took you a few years to accumulate that. And it took me just like that to accumulate it for you know, to get it from you. So that was a tremendous help. And as far as like just getting started, I mean, with those materials and the guidance that I have from you and just the go get it, go do it, it wasn't hard at all.
Right. And that's the thing, man. If every day is what I try to teach people, every day you should be doing something that's going to bring you closer to becoming a business owner.
Oh, yeah, you got that.
When I started, I didn't know anything, but I knew enough that I got to take action every day. I got to do something and build upon that each day. You know, if you do that, you'll see that you're making progress. And with the Steps to Success program that we outlay for you, it's got everything just laid out there for you. All you got to do is just go up the steps.
Yep.
You get the steps, you're going to reach success with it.
Yeah. And we took that method and we applied it, and we are seeing the success from it. And I couldn't be more grateful. My family couldn't be more grateful because, you know, now endless possibilities now. You know, and like I like to tell people, even in this, like, even if this isn't something that you thought that you may do, it's good money in this business. Not that you do it for the money, but it's good money. But you can parlay that into something else.
Right.
Like, so don't just, you know, box yourself into just thinking, oh, that's, you know, like, I just don't want to do that. You can parlay that into something else, or that can help build capital to fund something else that you wanted to do, you know, like that. So that's how I look at it as well. Like, you could do so many different venues and so many different things, you know, like getting into this industry. Because like I said, it's the medical industry, and it's $1 billion industry, and it's enough money out here for everybody.
Exactly. I just knew for me, man, when I was working at UPS, I was working 10-hour days. I was making $200 a day. So in order for me to leave that job, that was my minimum. If I can get out here and just make $200 a day, then I can, you know, I don't have a problem. You know, I know I can do it. But when I looked up one day and I saw that what it took me a week to make on the job, I was making it in a day. Right. I was like, man, whoa, wait a minute. You know, I was kicking myself. I'm like, I should have been, you know, took the leap of faith and started this business, man.
Yeah. I mean, I had those same things, man. Like, I wish I'd have did it earlier. Now, you know, once you get over that initial hurdle of success, you're gonna wish that you did it sooner. You know, you did it, you know, like earlier or whatever. You had that much more years under your belt, because as the years go, you're just gonna get better and better. And
it's gonna get better and better.
Yeah. I mean, 200 hours a day, you making what? 200 hours and a half hour now.
Right, exactly, man. And when one day I was thinking back and I was like, you know, I was working with AT&T for 22 years before I got laid off. But when I got laid off, I was making $30 an hour. Now, the minimum I make now is $85 an hour. So I'm thinking to myself, how long would I have to work at AT&T to reach $85 an hour had they not have laid me off? I would have never made $85 an hour over there.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was working for Comcast. I was in corporate. I worked there for 7 years. You know, I was one of their highest earners. I was making nowhere near the $35 an hour. Like, so, you know, now, I mean, I'm far exceeding what I initially thought that I was able to make, and I'm able to do so many more things for my family, vacations.
Man, that's awesome.
Like, it's great. Like, and then having time as well, like, to do other things is whatever it was great. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, honestly.
That's good, man. Well, you know, I speak with a lot of people, and right now the common thing is I'm having a hard time finding a van. How hard was it for you to find a van?
I thought it would be harder than what it was. It's all about your preference from what I like to say. Like, some people have older vans, some people have newer vans. So if you're going to get into this industry, you have to have an idea of what you want your business to look like.
Right.
So it took me a bit longer because I had a specific idea of what I wanted my business to look like, or what I wanted to represent. So I wanted more of a newer style van, so I had to wait longer till one of those popped up and one of those came about. Now you can get into it with all kinds of vehicles. I've seen people with the caravans. I've seen people with the caravan that does wheelchair and stretcher. I've seen people that have the older, like style van. So it's all on your preference and what you would want to do. But it's not, I mean, there's all kinds of locations, things you find. Facebook has them on there. I actually got mines off of, what is that app? OfferUp.
Oh, really? I never know that.
Yeah. I found mines on OfferUp. So,
Okay, great.
there's all kinds of resources that you can use to find a van. But like I said, it's all about the idea of how you want to represent your company.
Exactly. And you can get started with something that's clean and in good mechanical condition. You don't have to just jump right out and put yourself into some debt. Paying notes on a newer van. You can just find something that's clean and in good mechanical condition. But what they're doing is they're getting geeked up by these brokers, and they feeling that they got to run out there and get that brand new minivan. And those things are just costly.
Don't get me started on brokers, man.
Now, you're not working currently with the brokers, right?
So if you remember when you first started, when we first were in that webinar, you were talking like you didn't use brokers. So right. I was thinking like, man, you had it like most people. I'm thinking, oh, you got to have a broker. You got to do this, that. So when you were telling me that you didn't use brokers, I was like, all right, well, you got to grassroots it. You got to get out there and knock on doors, kiss babies, and shake hands, and do all that good stuff or whatever. So that took a while to get accomplished, but I did try to like supplement with a broker, and it was a horrible, horrible experience because they treat you not as a partner, as an employee. And I didn't get into running an own business to be treated like an employee.
Exactly.
So if you really want to take reins of your own company and do your own thing, you really have to do it the right way, in the proper way. And for me, that was just getting my name out there and waiting for that one opportunity. And then once I got that opportunity, blow the hinges off the door. Right. Kill them with your procedures and your policies. Make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do. You're on time. You have great service, and then that will parlay into somebody else. And as soon as you know it, word of mouth spreads, and then you're booming. It doesn't take as long. I know in this new age we live in a microwave society, and we all want instant success.
Yeah, that's right.
But you have to put in the hard work. So I'm on Instagram as well. I don't go live. I'm not a superstar like you. You got me on here today. I like to stay in the background. I don't like having my face out there and doing all that stuff. But I watch a lot of people and I watch a lot of material out there, and I see other companies promote this or promote that and say these and say that. The truest way to success is patience. You have to put in the work. You have to put the work in, and you have to deliver great work, because you have to build a relationship over time with people. You can't just walk into a place with a playbook that somebody told you from an Instagram course,
right? Exactly.
Or YouTube, and think that bam, you're going to be there one day, or that they don't know you from anybody or the other people that they have in their thing. So you have to consistently give top-notch service or whatever, and it takes time. But once you form those relationships, once you form those bonds with people, it'll take you tremendous places. I mean, I can honestly tell you, once I started rolling and once I started like just delivering like great service and great service, man, like people will call up other people, hey, we got this guy who does this, hey, we got this guy that does that, or whatever, you maybe you can do it for us, and it just spreads like that, spreads like Wi-Fi. So
exactly. Yeah. And that's what it is, man. You serve to succeed. You know, I had someone to DM me the other day. They said that they had a friend that's in the medical transportation business, and they've been operating for a year, and they're not making money. And he asked me, is it money to be made in this business? And, you know, I'm explaining to him, it's kind of like fame before fortune.
Right.
You know, when you get started in this business, no one knows you. You're not famous. So
Right.
you got to roll up your sleeves. You got to get in there. You got to get out there and make a name for yourself.
You do.
Once you do that consistently and build your brand up, people are going to become to know you, and you're going to become famous. And with the fame, follows the fortune.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. You really have to slow grind it, and it takes a while. You'll make money to sustain yourself, you know, and you know, put food on your table and things like that. But you really will start to make big bucks once you hone those relationships and those contacts with people at these places. And once you do that, I mean, like, sky's the limit. I mean, I remember I was doing it for this one facility, and they were a horrible facility. But I gave great work. One day I got a call from another facility from them, you know, like they as a referral from the one facility, and I'm like, I ain't even contact. I don't even know how they got my number, but they got my number. We parlayed down to a contract, and now we're having great success. And now we thinking about it. They're thinking about expanding. We're thinking about expanding. So you know, great things. And then someone else pick up a phone from somebody else. They didn't gave my information to somebody else, and it's booming now. I'm at a point where I probably got too much work. Tell you the truth.
Do you remember when I used to check in on you and I said, nephew, how's it going? You used to like, yeah, I got one here and you know, one there. And I was like, just be patient, man. Just continue to build your brand. Just continue to talk to people, meet and greet people. And I said, when you find that one person to tell you yes, it's gonna pop off for you. And you was like, hey, I got somebody that told me yes. I don't know what to do. I need a service agreement or something.
Right? Yeah, like you get so excited or whatever. Tamper your emotions. You know, just all I can always say, just always be professional. You know, like try to be professional at all costs. Not everybody's going to be professional with you, but you got to be professional with them.
That's the main state.
Yeah, always be professional.
That's why I like staying in the seat. You know, my brother teases me a lot, man. You still in the seat? Yeah, I'm still in the seat because, you know, I'm out here working the field all day. And so when I'm meeting people, man, when I go inside of a rehab facility, a nursing home, I speak to everybody I see. I don't care if you're cleaning the toilets, you the CNA, you the nurse, you the doctor, you the patient, you the family member, you the secretary. I'm speaking to everybody I see because I'm trying to build a relationship and I want them to see my brand. And I want to find out from that facility, hey, when do you all have y'all morning meetings? Oh, it's at 9:30? Okay, I'm bringing donuts on Friday. It's all about building relationships. When you build relationships, you can get into that number one position inside of that facility because they're going to be dealing with multiple transportation companies coming in and out of there.
Correct.
So I'm building that relationship. So when they need something, they're thinking about me because I done put the work in. You know, hey, how's your kids doing? How's your mom doing? I'm constantly building relationships all day, and it makes such a big difference because I've had people that leave one facility and go somewhere else, and then they remember me and call me to that facility. I just got a call last week, or somebody went to a whole nother facility that and what's so crazy about it, I already marketed at the facility, and I didn't get no response out of it. That person then got transferred to that same facility. They told me to come see them next week. But that comes from building relationships.
Yes, yeah. You never know who's watching.
You never know
who's watching. I like to take that old. I forget who said what athlete said it, but they said that they play hard every game because they never know who's their first. This is the first game they ever seen in the end. So I like to look at it like that. You never know who's watching, so you always want to be professional at all times.
Okay. So throughout this process, how do you think we've helped you?
You guys are a tremendous resource. Now, I don't know if you could do this for everybody, but you know, for us, I remember texting you or hitting you up on Instagram. Hey, I got a quick question. Can you do, you know what I mean? Like, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? You know, like those little nuances when I'm in a jam or I was in trouble, or not in trouble, but if I was in a jam or I was just stuck and I didn't go, to be able to lean on Six Figures, you know, for advice in those areas was tremendous because they helped me move along, or they sped up my curve, you know, like my learning curve, you know, like, and without that, I probably be 6 months back, you know, like, you know, in the process, whatever. So you guys were able to help speed up my learning curve, and it was tremendous, you know, like resource of help. And like I said, that kit is also, you know, like that
Right.
kit, you know, like I don't know where, like even being in this industry for almost a year, over a year now, a little over a year now, I still haven't come across like the materials or whatever. So I don't even know like where I would have got, you know, like those resources or whatever.
Right.
So those foundational resources and the guidance are tremendous help. And I really can't quantify it because I don't know where I would be without, you know, like the help from Six Figures.
Right. And that's what, you know, makes me feel good that I'm able to get out here and show individuals that, hey, you don't, it doesn't have to be like it's on Google where it says you need $350,000 to get started in this business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to get that number from, but you know, my whole concept was, I know I need to get a van that has a lift on it. And if I had to, I could go around and knock on every door in my neighborhood and find someone who was in a wheelchair and see if they needed my help. That's how simple I kept it. You know, that's the whole concept that I had. And that's how I started out. So that's how I never thought about a broker. And then my wife she would go in and out of the rehab facilities. And then that's when I learned about the rehab facilities and how they work. You know, that it's a cycle of events that occur. You know, an elderly person gets sick and, you know, they go to the hospital. They leave the hospital, they go to the rehab, they stay in there for 4 to 6 weeks, they get better, they go home. Another person comes in from the hospital, 4 to 6 weeks, and that whole cycle continues. And all we've did, and what I taught you to do is just input yourself into that cycle, and it's kind of on automatic right now. You don't have to get out here and market for anybody. They calling you looking for work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They calling now. They calling now. As long as you got that great reputation, you know, like and you don't spoil or soil your reputation, like you're going to make money. And if you're innovative and you have great ideas, because can't nobody tell you how to be the CEO of your, you know, like company or whatever. So, you know, implement the ideas that you think, you know, go with work, keep the main thing the main thing. You know, like I like to tell people. I like to tell some of the nurses and some of the directors inside there a lot. They ask me, you know, like how I do what I do, or, you know, why all the customers come back or the clients come back, you know, requesting me. Because I tell them I treat them like people. Some people treat them like cargo. Just throw them in the back and ride along, whatever. But no, you know, I treat them like people or whatever. So you keep the main thing, and I promise you, you'll have success. You'll be able to take care of your family. You'll be able to leave a legacy. You know, and it's one of the best moves I ever made in my life. And I encourage anyone that's in the audience, that's in the chat right now, you know, if you truly believe in yourself and you're a person that believes in themselves, then go ahead and, you know, get with Six Figures and let them help you take you to the next level.
Yeah, because I remember I've been trying to like create a network for new owners that when each of us get calls and we have, overage or whatever, that we would make contact with each other and you know, let each other that, you know that, you know, may need some worker. Because I've called you before and said, hey, Chris, you know, are you booked for tomorrow? I got somebody that needs to go somewhere and somewhere. And so at first when I was calling, you took a couple of them, but it's like ever since then, I've been calling and say, hey, Chris, you booked? Yeah, I'm booked. Yeah, I'm booked. Yeah, I'm booked. I'm like, okay, he's gone now. I can't send him nothing.
Yeah,
but that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, every now and then I got a little free time. But for the most part, yeah, man, calendar's full. Like I said, I have great relationships that I've made with people in the you know, in these nursing homes, these rehab facilitations. They keep me full, you know, like you're my first contact. As soon as something pop up, you're the first person I call. And, you know, like, so like I've made some real great relationships that have parlayed into some great opportunities, and I got some more opportunities coming up in 2023
Right.
that'll take the company even further. So I'm excited for the new year that's coming up, and see where we can go from there.
Yeah, you should definitely be getting prepared for the first quarter of next year. That's when I do all my promotional marketing, because a lot of facilities at that point, they're tired of the poor transportation services that they're getting from other companies, and they're looking to make a change sometimes. So that's when I sit down and look at all of the facilities that I did not contact this year, and I put another 5 or 6 down that I intend on contacting and promoting my brand over in that area. So you definitely want to get something together, get your promotional package together for the first quarter, so you can start making your calls and use that call script. How did that work for you?
Say that one more time. I didn't know.
How did that call script work for you when that you used for your promotional package when you were calling the facilities?
I like to say, I come from sales. So I did have, I do a little bit about marketing and promoting myself or whatever. So I took some of the things that you had there and added on, made it mine,
Right, exactly.
Verbatim from you or whatever. So, but yeah, it's for someone who isn't familiar with sales. It's a great pitch to get out there and, like to test the waters a bit. And like I encourage anybody, make it your own. Add a few things in there, make it your jargon. Because if you're going to be speaking with these people often, you want it to sound, to come off if it's yours. But yeah, like it was a great thing. Like I said, but I come from a sales background, so I got my, own little spin, my own little twist I put on.
Right. And so I picked all of that stuff up from selling life insurance. So I kind of like took things that I learned along the way, and I brought it all together and just started using it. So let me ask you this though. The day you looked up and you got your van and you're operating and you're actually out here every day doing it, when you looked up and you realized that you got it, how did you feel?
Like I said, I told you, I used to pull that first check stub out my pocket every now and then and take a glance at it, and like this all came from the muscle. This all came from the dirt. This all came from hard work, and it's a great feeling. It's also a motivation. Like I done framed it now, like sitting in my little home office. I got it
Right.
framed, and I'll look over it every now and then, like for the inspiration. So, like to keep going and keep you inspired, whatever, because being an entrepreneur, it's not like a 9 to 5, because you're constantly working. Like, I'm still in our shirt now. I know who's gonna happen on the live, but I'm sitting here doing work, like setting up, like for tomorrow and things like that. So you constantly, are working and trying to get your position, your company into position that you wanted to be. And it's a tremendous feeling when you're doing it for yourself, though. It's not like working for anybody else. I don't feel bogged down. Honestly, I don't even feel like it's work when I'm out there on the road.
Exactly. Some days it feels like you're kind of ripping people off, but you're helping families and providing.
The road work don't even feel like, like work. Like I think I had a young lady earlier today. My day started early today. My day of the day was I woke up at 5. I got her down to Piedmont, Atlanta at 7:30. I had another appointment at 9. I rushed back to get to that one, and I had another one at 10. I handled both of those, and I could have called the quits for the day. I could have stopped there and made a call. I had 2 more calls come in. I took care of them, and after that, it was about 2:30, and I was like, let me go get dinner ready and things like that, whatever. So, get the kids from school, things like that. So yeah, man, it's tremendous. It's a tremendous feeling being able to control your destiny, control your day, and do things like that.
And there's no limits on it. That's when I first realized that it's no limits. It's no limits on what you can earn with your business. It's just how you build it. My thing was I'm set out to start a small family-owned business. So I know you probably want 10 or 15 trucks. So
yeah. I'm ambitious. I'm trying to do this. I always keep my eye out for this and that. And like I was saying earlier about the parlaying into something else. If you're just kind of person that just thinks about things, some of these doctors' offices that we go to and things like that, some of the bigger ones, they don't have vending machines in there. If you wanted to be a vending machine person or whatever, you got tons of locations that you can put vending machines in or whatever and do it that way. And that's another stream of income that you can tap into and do something whatever. So you can really use this to help parlay or propel you into doing all other kinds of things, whatever. Like, so just don't keep it single-minded and think like, oh, it's just this and that, whatever. And the goal, like, now, oh, you like it. The goal, I had a goal when I set out. I said that I was going to work in the business and learn as much as I can, because I can't ask someone to do something that I already didn't do. Like, I need to know the ins and outs of this, you know, like thing or whatever. So this is purposely done. Some people get into it, they hire them a driver right away, and they got a driver doing things, whatever. Like, me personally, I don't like that method, because I don't think that you can necessarily market your business. No one's going to work as hard for you as you are going to work for you. So
nobody's going to be speaking to people and trying to build
and represent you as much
and
as
represent.
Yeah, so I don't advocate that people do it the other way, where they hire somebody and they do that and they're real hands off and they do it like that. Because you really got to know the industry, and you really got to cater it to how the way you like to do things. You know what I mean? Like so I promote getting out there, working in it a year or two, knowing the nuances, the little things or whatever, and then grow it slowly. You know, I got a 5-year plan, and I'm actually a little bit ahead of schedule on my 5-year plan. You know, like on the things that I want to do, because it's still, even being in the game just a year, a little bit over a year, there's still things that I need to learn. There's still things that I run into that I have to figure out. And if you're someone that has somebody else working for you, you would run into that roadblock, you know what I mean? So I encourage people to do it that way, and get into it, and just really like learn the business and then cater it to you. Or
Yeah, I'm still learning every day. I don't claim to know everything. You know, I still learn stuff every day about doing stuff. But the main thing I know is the most important part of this business is building the relationships. And someone just sent the comment across that we don't use brokers. No, you know, the model that me and Chris are using, that I showed him, that, you know, we didn't use brokers because we chose to take a slower start. If you want to use a broker, I'm not knocking the broker. You know, you can sign up with the broker, meet his credentialing and everything. He'll get you started right away, but he's going to be spoon feeding you, and he's going to also keep some of the money. But the way we're doing it, the way we started doing it, we just put our foot to the ground and just start knocking on doors until someone tells us yes, and we keep moving on and keep building that.
Here's things about brokers that people don't know as well. A broker actually doesn't like when you start to get your own jobs. Like, that's the whole point. Like, so I remember I was with Motive Care in the beginning, because things were real slow and bills was backing up, and I had to do what I had to do. So I signed up with Motive Care, and I got with them, and it just wasn't what I expected. You know, and like, you know, I was getting a bunch of jobs in the beginning, and we're running around, we're doing this and that. It was fine, and I would get a private pay person, so I couldn't take a job from them. It was fine. You know, a week go by, I would get 2 private pays. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do, you know, that run or whatever. Oh, you know, did you get that call? Hey, you know, you started to turn down some jobs. You know, anything wrong, anything, you know, it's just like, no, I'm just picking up, you know, my other side of things, whatever. You know, and then the girl, one of the girls, dispatch girls, she was real candid. She's like, they don't like that. She's like, if you keep turning down jobs, they'll eventually stop calling you.
They'll start freezing you out. Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what happened. You know, like you tell them, hey, I can't do this because I'm working on my own thing, whatever. Them calls will stop coming, because they use you as a resource. They don't really care about you. It's not a partnership as they like to claim it to be.
They're using you to do the work.
Just using you or whatever. And it's so they churning you out, and you get so burnt out or whatever. You don't even have enough time, like, really to work on, you know, perfecting your business and perfecting what you want to, you know, like what you trying to do. But I still have clients from when I did do the Motive Care. I did Motive Care probably for 3 months. I still have clients. That was in the beginning. I still have clients from in that business that was so impressed with the work that they still call me to this day for private pay now. You know, like, so yeah, so you know, but I don't. The to me the best way is to just, you know, either I made a list of every nursing home, every dialysis center, every rehabilitation center in my area.
Right.
I got on them phones, I made them contacts, I sent out those emails, you know, and just was waiting for someone, you know, to hit me back. I mean, I wouldn't hold 30 days without a hit, but that one person called. That one
Right.
person.
That's what you need. That one person to get your wheels rolling.
Yeah. So you can't get discouraged. You can't get. I'll give everybody a quick story. So in the beginning, it was rough. You know, my savings started going down. I stopped working with Motive Care, and you know, I'm not making as much money. I'm picking up a job here or there. You know, Uncle sending a job here and there to me every now and then, and I got a call from the hospital. So the hospital, I think you remember, and I called you and I said, "Hey man, the hospital called me." And he was like, "Oh, see what they talking about." So the hospital called, and I'm in there. You know, we have a meeting, and they impressed. You know, they like the van. You know, they like what we can do for them, whatever. And I'm telling you, man, I'm back on mortgage. I'm back on credit card bills. So I really need this to come through. And I got in that meeting, and everything went great. But I didn't have my rate sheet. You know, because you don't want to show your hand. You know, and I didn't have my rate sheet with me. I told them I'll send it over to them later. They sent me over an example of rate sheet of what they had. My numbers didn't match up with their numbers, you know, like work or whatever. So we went back and forth for almost a week or two or whatever. And on the Wednesday of the third week, I had to just bow out because I couldn't meet their numbers. It wouldn't have been beneficial for me to meet them. As desperate as I was, and my wife was like, you know, we got this coming up, we got that coming up. We need to, you know, we need to get some money. I still had to turn them down. Now, this how the Lord works. That Friday, a company that I've never even talked to called me and say, hey, we need transportation. Are you able to do it? I sent them over my service agreement, and they accepted everything that I gave to them. So instead of the hospital dictating to me what it was, they accepted everything that I want, and I was off to the races. You know, like,
and that's the thing. You got to know your worth. You got to know your worth.
You gotta know your worth.
Don't accept a low paying offer like that. And you know your worth. All money is not good money. You know, I had someone that DM'd me and told me that they made $100,000 with the broker, and they was excited about that. And I'm like, man, what were you really supposed to make? If you made $100,000 with the broker, what were you really supposed to make?
Right. Yeah, $100,000 with the broker, you probably would have made, you know, 300, 400,000, you know, 500,000.
Exactly. It's like I you know.
So yeah,
I don't know, man. But you know, people just don't want to be patient. Like you said, everybody want everything fast. You know, I was still working a full-time job when I was starting this business. You know, so this business was funded by my full-time job, and I didn't quit my job until I just couldn't take it anymore. I didn't just jump out there, you know. So I took a slow start. I mean, I remember days when my van was parked in the driveway and I wasn't going anywhere. You know. Now it's like I'm waiting for stuff to slow down a little bit. Now it's coming during the holidays. I'm like, we're slowing down a little bit.
Yeah,
So it's been an amazing journey, man. And it's been so exciting to see you out here in the streets. I remember you passed me one day, and every now and then we cross paths. I see you out there. Sometimes I see your wife, and I be thinking it's you, but then I see your wife in there or whatever, and I just honk or wave. She probably think I'm like who the competition or something like that. But no, like you know, and for as much as you see me in the streets, you don't see me at the same places that you go to.
Yeah, that's true too.
And someone was mentioning to me one day, they said, you're not afraid that, you know, helping people get started in this business, you know, you're going to have a lot more competition. They're going to take work from you. I was like, no, sir. I said,
Nah,
I'm certainly not. I said, what God has for me is for me. And he has showed me that time and time again for different situations. Like I've been down to Grady and I have seen 15, 20 different medical transportation companies down there. And I thought about that. I'm like, none of those companies go where I go. Out of
yeah.
all them companies that's down there. So there's plenty of work out here. There's enough work out here for us.
That's like I said in the beginning. This is $1 billion industry. You ain't gonna never have enough concentration. And Georgia's a big place. You
Right.
know, yeah, like people. I see. I'm on a Facebook group, an MTM Facebook group. People pop up all the time. Hey, opening up in Georgia, opening up there. And I wanted to say, I don't know if everybody, everybody in the chat, from different places. So when we say numbers like 85 a day or this and that, if you in Houston, you in Philadelphia, I mean, those numbers may be different, higher,
Exactly.
like the nuts, whatever. So don't just hear it. Oh, they making only $85. I mean, like, hey,
Right.
maybe making way more money. Like in different areas. I did see you. Are you going to Philly or you having something in Philly? That's my hometown. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
seen.
okay, yeah. Well, that's my daughter behind me. She's pushing me again. She says that the pandemic is over. It's time for you to get off of these webinars, and we going to Philly and somewhere else she told me I was going, but we're gonna start one here in Atlanta first. So it's just me stepping outside of myself, extending myself, and just getting out here and sharing and unwrapping my gift and sharing it with everybody. Just to let people know that, hey, if I can do it with no mentors, no training, no financing, no office, no website, none of this stuff. I didn't have anything. All I did was went and got one van. I paid $5,000 for. I drove way to some town in Florida. I don't even know where it was at. Gave a guy $5,000 cash, came back here and started knocking on doors.
There you go.
That's it.
So you
Pure
go
simple.
when you go to Philly. That's my hometown. So you want to hit up Ishkabibbles to get you a cheesesteak.
Okay.
Don't go to the tourist spots. Don't go to Pat's and Gino's. You want to go to Ishkabibbles on South Street. That's it.
All
Right.
right. All right.
Yeah.
But that's good, Dale. So much success to you, sir, and God bless you, your family, and your business, man. I still look to hear more great things from you. Maybe we can work together and do some different things or whatever. And keep us informed. If you see some vans or something like that somebody has for sale, just let me know, because a lot of people are looking for vans and looking for different opportunities. Like I had someone to tell me about an opportunity at a facility that they couldn't handle. It turned into a contract for me. And that's how it should be. You don't be stingy, try to be stingy because thinking somebody's going to get all the work from you or whatever. You know about an opportunity that if I know about something that might benefit you, they need some extra vans over there, I'm going to give you a shout, man, and see if it's something that you're interested in.
Because the way that people got to look at it, like collectively, if you got a friend network, like if I've built up great relationships, like I said, with right now, I just have the one vehicle right now. If they come to me and they say, hey, we want you to take over and do more things, whatever. At this moment, I couldn't do that. But if I have friends and I have a network of other people, I know people that I can count on reliable, man. So, all right, he got 2 vans. She got 3 vans or whatever, like together, then we can meet that, we can meet what they need and we can, we can all get the money that way, whatever. So, like the idea of not working together, whatever, it doesn't necessarily benefit, especially when you and open. Like you need people, you need the network, you need to help, others out or whatever. So I'll extend that to anybody in the group. If you're in the Atlanta area, you're in the Georgia, area, my Instagram's on here. You can, DM me, you ever need a word or, help out, just like help me out, whatever. If I can, I'm willing to, give any piece of advice, that I got, I'm a little more tech savvy than them. So if you want to do the little technical things, whatever, I'm good on that end or whatever, innovation and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm here to help as well.
Okay, my man, Chris, man, I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad you're doing things, man. You're taking charge for you and your family and everything. And you guys have a Merry Christmas. Be blessed, man. Be safe out there, and I'll see you the next time.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, bro. Yeah.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you press X.